I was craving this stew last week, and another friend asked me for the recipe out of nowhere, and I'm like, girl, how did you know that I wanted to make this? So I told her that I'll make it and share the recipe. And trust me, she said she'll wait. So today, Annie, I'm bringing you this Kotodwe stew recipe. It's cow leg stew. So you would have to stay with me and then let's see how we make this, okay? So here in my saucepan, I have the pre-cooked cow leg. So what I did is to cook it in just water because it takes a while. It's very tough. So I cooked it for about 30 minutes first. And then I went ahead to season with some ginger, garlic, onion, and some seasoning and salt. And then added my lid on top and then allowed it to cook till it was tender. Please have patience for this. When you realize that the water has reduced, you can be adding more water. This took almost an hour to be ready, so please take note of that. And then when you're making it, if you don't have a slow cooker or pressure cooker, have patience, okay? As you can see, my stock had almost dried out. So at this point, I realized that my meat was okay. So I went ahead to start preparing the stew. So in my saucepan, I went in with some oil and then I went ahead to fry some onions. So with the onions, I gave it about 5 minutes, but on low heat. You don't want the onions to brown, basically, but slightly caramelize and then lend its sweetness to the oil. And then I also went in with some blended pepper. So I don't eat, or we don't eat too much pepper at home. So I always don't add too much pepper to my dishes, if you've noticed. So this is just a small quantity, but slightly on the spicy side. Well, according to our household, okay. So once this fries a bit, I'm going in with some blended ginger, garlic, and onions. So here, the onions are a bit much because I'm trying to, or let me say with Kotodwe stew or with the cow leg stew, you want to try as much as possible to mimic the Waakye stew recipe. Personally, if the Kotodwe stew doesn't taste like Waakye stew for me or Hausa stew, I don't like it, okay? So once I fry that for about 7 to 10 minutes, I also go in with some tomato paste. Give that also a very good mix and allow 7 to 10 minutes of frying. So in the 10 minutes, let me put it that way, you can go in to stir intermittently so you don't burn the stew. If this is your first time here, hello, my name is Yasmi. Please consider subscribing and joining this amazing blooming family. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back to watch my video. So my 10 minutes are up. I'm going to go ahead and add my blended tomatoes. With this recipe, I didn't use too much blended tomatoes because I wanted the onions to overpower or be overbearing in the recipe. Trust me, I fried the onions for a while, so in the end, you'd realize that the onions will be sweet. So that's what we are going for with this particular stew. And before I cover and leave it on low heat to cook, I am adding some curry powder and nutmeg powder. So these are also going to lend beautiful flavors to the stew as well. So once they go in and I give it a good stir, I'm also going to season a bit because I realize the salt is on the low side even if we add the stock from the meat or from the cow leg or Kotodwe. I'm sure you understand what I mean, okay, which will be added later. But this is about 20 minutes of frying our stew, and as you can see, it's looking beautiful. The color has turned a slightly darker red, and that's what we are going for, okay. I'm going to go in with my Kotodwe at this point and allow the flavors to marry beautifully. So still on low heat. Once the Kotodwe goes in, reduce the heat and then allow this to simmer for about 15 extra minutes. Trust me, you need that time. So at this point, add anything you want, okay? So I'm going in with some green bell peppers. You can add onions, but I'm not a fan of onions in the latter part of a recipe. So I'm going in with just the green bell peppers. So I'll give this a mix and then cover and allow it to slowly simmer. And then once it's ready, we are ready to serve. I had this deliciousness with some plain rice the first day, and then the following day, we had it with some home-cooked waakye. See, it is different. You have to try this recipe and let me know how it goes. Please give me a thumbs up on the video. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you'd usually pair with your Kotodwe stew. Also, when you are done watching, please do me a favor by sharing this amazing recipe. And until I see you again in another video, please don't forget to keep blooming.